First off, Oscar, never feel bad.
I feel horrible.
No, you should feel great.
I feel horrible.
Everything you just said is valid, but we have a sponsor for the vignette.
Especially what you said before, Rob. That was very valid.
Well, it was mostly for you,
yes,
but also your family.
Right.
What you've just missed is brought to you by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page. Your spooktacular Halloween headquarters. Ooh. Costumes, decorations, and candy. It powers the show when you shop through our Amazon link. The banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon takes you straight to your account, and we get the credit.
Yes.
Thank you. Save money and support the show when you shop. Please do through MikeO'MaraShow.com.
I bought 2 costumes on Amazon.com.
Cool.
Really?
One is the Prince of Podcasting outfit.
No, and then the other one, one of them was too small, so I gave that one away.
Because you're too fat?
No.
Well, yeah, you got about 15 to lose.
Well, you're asking my girlfriend.
That's right.
Walking around like
Shannon
a
says,
crab.
your stomach is showing.
Yeah.
Take that costume
is
off.
Is it showing now? Oh, I'm sorry. We have a guest in studio.
Oh, we do, and I'll introduce him in a moment.
Okay.
So you bought 2 costumes?
I know it works. If you got Amazon Prime, and that's when you pay a little extra money just so you save on shipping.
Do
Perfect.
that.
Shows up the next day usually.
It pays for
Pretty good.
itself at Amazon Prime.
By the way, I felt like a million years old today. Who built the Fiero car? Was it Pontiac?
Yes, I think it was.
I saw a Pontiac Fiero going by Mike's house, and it had antique plates on it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So what is it?
Yeah.
25 years old, I guess, to
That's
qualify
shocking.
for an antique.
Was it
Let me see
Wava or 107 that was giving away the Fieros?
I think
You
it was.
remember
I
that?
think it was WAVA, and
I
they
think
gave
you're
away
right.
a lot of them.
They did,
and
I
they
remember.
all broke down,
Might have
like
been
all
one-
Fieros always do.
Might have been one of them.
You know what?
What's that?
I actually got into radio when they stopped giving away cars.
Yeah.
Really?
Isn't that surreal?
Yeah.
The last car that was given away in my era was by the urban station WPGC, and they gave away a Mercedes, the low-line one, with $5,000 in the glove compartment
Oh,
for taxes.
That's like a Rick Dees thing. And there's $5,000 in the glove box. Ooh,
Yes.
for gas and taxes.
When you got into radio, they stopped giving away jobs.
That's right.
Apparently.
Yeah, they stopped giving away paychecks. That's what they did. But that aside, we have a guest in studio today.
Wow.
My son Robert is
Yeah.
sitting in with us. Hey,
Welcome-
buddy boy.
welcome back, Robert.
Hi,
And good to see you. You are how old?
10.
That is exactly right. You get a ding. You got that answer right. That's good. And why aren't you at school today?
Because I wanted to miss it.
No, it's a I'm sorry, that's incorrect. 10 down. Reset the board. It's a
Spiewak holiday.
precisely. Yeah,
It's a
he's
Spiewak
I
holiday.
wish I was part of the Spiewak family.
Spiewaks, we like to have fun, and you know what happened is he was going to have a half day anyway because we're going to the dentist, and also we need haircuts.
Yeah.
So besides 2 big events, I'm very
There's no way you could possibly squeeze
No,
school into
no,
a schedule like that.
Certainly
No,
not.
I mean, there isn't Saturday and Sunday.
And
Apparently on the Spiewak holiday, the men in the family are supposed to wear the same shirt.
Yes, well, that's all part of holiday
Yeah.
tradition. Isn't that nice?
No, they're not. Yes, they
we're-
are.
We're celebrating Daniel Bryan, one of Robert's favorite wrestlers, so we are in matching outfits
I'm just
today.
happy you don't have a scout meeting tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And the other thing this is also keeping a balance in the house. We have to keep the house balanced because Julia had a made-up sick day on Friday, which, by the way, and I explained to Carrie, I said, she was laying the groundwork. She decided she was going to be sick Thursday night. You didn't see this coming.
Yes.
And Carrie signed off on it. And by the time I got home on Friday at 1 o'clock, Julia was done because she knows you don't have to go to school after 1. I said, how are you feeling? Much better. La la la
Well,
la
sure.
la la.
Because
If
of
you've
the
got
time.
if you got the $1 million pyramid in the Spiewak household,
Yes.
what would education fall into? Is it near the bottom or in the middle or at the top? Clearly not at the top if you're taking Spiewak holidays.
Well, no,
from
you
school.
see, education has to be balanced with something else, which is intellect.
Oh, nice.
And all Spiewaks are blessed with it.
Fun is at the top of the Spiewak pyramid.
That's the point right there. So I wanted to come up with something vignette that Robert could play along with, and we're going to bring back a game that we have not played on this show ever. It goes back to Mike O'Mara's show on the terrestrial version, and also I believe Mike played it when he was on the edge. But Buzz, please say hi to an old friend.
Yes.
It's the Power of 10.
The power of 10.
Oh.
And it's presidential edition. This is essentially true-false questions. And with 5 big ways to win big, escalating prizes, and Robert kept asking about prizes. I said, well, no, we won't actually have prizes because we're just playing with ourselves.
We had a slogan for this, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
It involved taking your shirt off.
That was a tradition.
Yeah.
It was something like never underestimate the power of 10. Or
I think that's excellent.
something
Yeah,
like
let's go with that.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Oscar.
Please.
Oscar, if President Obama is reelected, then Notre Dame's football team will lose their bowl game. True or false?
True.
That is false. I'm sorry. Notre Dame has won all 3 bowls they've played in the months after a Democratic win. They've only won 2 of the 7 bowl games after a Republican win. So going statistically, that is a face, and these are all based in science. Because always respect
the power of 10.
And I do think that's what it was,
always
Buzz.
Respect the power of 10.
Buzz, if Mitt Romney wins, the groundhog is going to see his shadow this February.
Well, I don't think there's any way of knowing that.
You see, you're not respecting the power of 10.
Come on.
Give him a buzzer on
I
that.
just violated the slogan.
Yeah, not the wheel.
Why can't you just play along?
Yeah, come on. Don't be a jerk face.
Because I don't wanna.
All right.
I'll say that he will see his shadow.
Okay, fact. The groundhog has seen his shadow all 12 times the Republicans have won in the last 100 years.
Very good.
Congratulations. See what a little respect will get you?
Once you respect the power of 10, you're fine.
Robert W. Spiewak, I. If President Obama wins, the groundhog is probably going to see... I'm sorry, I skipped that. I'll read it.
Hey.
What?
Start over.
I didn't
I'll give
respect
you.
I think I'm to blame for that.
I guarantee you are. Robert, if Romney wins, a war movie is more likely to win a Best Picture Oscar next year. And I'll repeat that for you. If Romney wins, a war movie is likely to win the Best Picture Oscar next year.
I don't know anything about politics.
Fact or fiction? Then you can only guess.
Fact?
I'm sorry. Robert, perhaps you should be in school. Fiction.
Sorry.
2 of the 3 war movies that won Best Picture after an election were after a Democrat won. So, Robert, I'm sorry.
What was Saving Private Ryan? Was that Clinton era?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Boo. I thought it was Bush. Sorry, Robert.
Okay, Robert, go wait in the car. No, you stay there. You're fine. Mark Ronick,
yes.
if Obama wins, a musical is more likely to win Best Picture. Fact or fiction?
I will say fiction.
I'm sorry, that is fact. You are not respecting the power of 10. 2 of the 3 musicals that won after elections were after a Democrat won. Damn. Oscar,
yes, sir.
This is such a great game. I love when people get questions wrong. Oscar, if Romney is elected, it's going to snow for the ball drop in New York City on New Year's Eve. If Romney is elected, it is likely to snow for the ball drop in New York City on New Year's Eve. Let me think of the fact or fiction
of the Bush era and Dick Clark trying to count down. Was it
7,
8?
See, that's not respecting Dick Clark.
No,
but a lot of respect.
That's allowed.
For the power of
I'm going
10.
to say fact.
No.
Really?
Fiction. It has snowed twice on New Year's Eve after an election, once after a Democrat was elected, and once after a Republican was. So it is not more likely.
All that slurring threw me off.
I know, but I thought it was great slurring. You get 2 extra points for that. Buzz.
Yes.
If Romney wins,
Okay.
the Houston Texans have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, that's a correct answer. The Texans are in the AFC, and that conference has won 5 of the 7 Super Bowls after a Republican win. Because if there's 2 things Buzz loves, football and Republican politics.
Yes.
That's right.
My son, Robert,
Hi, Robert.
if
Hi.
Mitt Romney wins the election, Sophia will probably be the most popular girl's baby name next year. Oh, yeah. Now, you have a Sophia. Don't you have a Sophia in your neighborhood?
Preposterous question.
Great questions. Don't we have a Sophia in our neighborhood?
No.
Is she
No,
hot?
in your class?
No.
Okay, then skip it.
All right.
Fact or fiction? I always keep my finger on the pulse of the neighborhood. Don't we have girls in our neighborhood,
That's
Robert?
creepy that you knew that.
Robert, if Romney wins... No, it's creepy if I had known it. If Romney wins, Sophia will be the most popular girl's baby name again next year. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
I'm sorry.
Aw.
The answer is fact. And it's great. These are just 50-50. The most popular name has been the same as the previous year after 11 of the 12 Republican wins. It changes when a Democrat wins. How about that? So I guess if Obama wins, the most popular girl's name will be Barack. Oscar, if
Yes,
Obama
sir.
is
Oh,
reelected...
thanks, Rob.
What?
Thanks.
Hey, you're quite
You
welcome.
skipping me?
Oh, did you want to play?
No, maybe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I feel like he made it all himself.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
if I were to skip you... No, if Obama is reelected, there's more likely to be a flu pandemic this winter. Fact or fiction?
Well, I'm going to say fiction.
That is fiction.
Yeah.
And I tell you how you can get that is because if there was any chance of him causing illness,
Right.
they would be talking about it on
He'd be in
Fox.
the campaign.
But there's only been one pandemic in the winter after an election in the last 100 years, and it was after Richard Nixon won. And finally, Oscar.
Yes, sir.
If Mitt Romney wins, a spaniel is probably going to win the Westminster Dog Show.
True.
That is fiction. Spaniels have won 9 times after election year. You don't know your dogs, and I know it is time to start the show.
Can I listen to the
Yes.
www.MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
But now that I'm an old I'm beginning to notice some advantages to putting on a few extra years. The first one is you never have to carry anything heavy ever again. Everybody wants to help an old. If you got a big suitcase or something like that, you just kind of go like this a little bit. You say, yeah, could you help me with this? Say, yeah, hey, how far are you going? Indianapolis. He wants to help put him to work. Take advantage of people. Another nice thing about getting old is you can leave any social event early just by saying you're tired. Works great with family members. Just turn to the person next to you and say, geez, I'm getting tired, Oh, you're tired? Come on, Grandpa's tired. Grandpa's going to bed. Someone else says, but it's 7:30 in the morning. There's always one in the family. But the best thing about getting old is you're not responsible for remembering things anymore. Even important things. But it was your daughter's funeral. I forgot. You can even make believe you have Alzheimer's disease. That's a lot of fun. You look around the dining room table and you say, who are you people and where's my horse? Then you stare at your oldest son and say, Agnes, I haven't seen you since First Communion. They don't know how to handle it. Takes them a week to get over that. And they start listening to you a lot more carefully from then on. So don't be afraid to get old. It's a great time of life. You get to take advantage of people, and you're not responsible for anything. You can even in your pants.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, here's Rob.
George Carlin, live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios. It's America's most beloved podcast, the Mike O'Mara Show. Downloaded more than 15 million times and heard in 150 countries worldwide. Call us.
No.
Why did you say that?
I'm not going to tell them how. Just call us. And today is October 24th, 2012, our last day without Mike O'Mara.
That's right.
Which is,
I miss him.
I do too, and I'm very excited to have him back. He was all uptight yesterday. Well, we got a most distracted Mike yesterday. He was excited about doing the good work. He was full of love and
inspired,
bordering on being religious about all the stuff he's going through down there.
Yeah.
He was also very excited about his shoes, but he was also worked up about the weather. Buzz, before we get to the sponsor, what are we looking at hurricane-wise for Mike? Do we think we'll have him tomorrow?
I hope he's already in the clear. He said he was going to be taking off early this morning, so hopefully he's already on his way home.
Right.
But this morning, as I was preparing today's news, I discovered this item from UPI. Weather advisories are posted for Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, and the Bahamas, and parts of Florida, where he's flying Wednesday, as Tropical Storm Sandy gathers strength. It's expected to become a hurricane today. It hasn't become a hurricane yet. Right now, it's a tropical storm. Pilots, ship captains, they're used to this sort of thing. They know how to fly over, under, around, and through these things.
Fine.
He'll be fine. Did he pack an umbrella?
I
Was
think
he
he
allowed
might
that
have.
in his
No,
4
probably
pounds
not.
of junk?
Well, his boots are waterproof, right?
That's right, and also made for walking.
They can put the boots on their heads.
Today's show
Is brought to you by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page and by TLC Laser Eye Center. There's nothing quite like ditching your glasses or contacts, and TLC can absolutely help. I remember what a joy it was for me. The TLC staff is friendly.
Yes.
The surgeons are experienced. The equipment always state-of-the-art. The TLC lifetime commitment is huge. They have locations all over the country. If you move, you're absolutely covered. To schedule your free consultation, do this. See what you've been missing by calling 877 TLC 2020. That's 877 TLC 2020, or find them online at tlcvision.com, and be sure to tell them you heard about it right here on the Mike O'Mara Show, TLC Laser Eye Centers.
Thank you. You know, when you have that, if you have better vision, you can look at the iPad Mini, and it looks like a regular iPad.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Today is the big day, Oscar. Or yesterday, I guess.
Yesterday
they
was
announced
a big day.
it. Yeah.
Big day in tech. It's actually one of the biggest days in history, weeks in history and technology, and we're going to cover this on Tech 401, but we'll do a little quick overview here.
Is that still on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Thank you. Tech401show.com or on iTunes. Subscribe today.
It's the crispiest podcast out there.
Yeah. So Apple and Microsoft have some of the biggest announcements of their product lines of the year. Usually these keynote speeches or releases are set maybe once a year, and they debut a bunch of products. Mm-hmm. The iPad Mini was brought to the marketplace and debuted yesterday, including a new iMac, a new MacBook Pro 13-inch with a Retina display. The iMac itself has a faster processor and is also skinnier. It's got a skinnier body.
It's amazing. Now, just real quick, let's go to, we have a couple news reports I'd like to use to set the table.
Yes.
Here is talking about the debut of the Mini.
The Amazon Kindle and a handful of others sell for roughly $200. The Mini's price tag, $329.
Naturally.
Apple's betting its customers will pay more for Apple products.
Now, that being said, interesting in the stock market yesterday, after they debuted this new product that is going to be the revolutionized, the tablet market.
Yes.
It's news when Apple launches a new product, and today it showed off its new iPad Mini. It's about a third smaller than the full-size iPad, and it's meant to compete with tablets sold by Amazon and Google. But at $329, it's more expensive than Wall Street expected. Apple's stock price fell more than 3% today.
Wow.
Now, were you shocked that their price point was that much higher?
Yeah, it was also strange. Todd and I, we do that.
Todd Moore?
That tech show that I talked about earlier, Tech 401 show.
Still on.
And
I also like the reruns.
Yeah,
so.
I like plugging it. No, really, we talked about this in private, and we said that the $329 price point is weird. It's just strange because
aren't they always at $99?
Yeah,
like selling gas.
Yeah, and they came out with that price point, and I don't know what it doesn't make sense to me. And as a former Apple stockholder, I'm glad I got out because it seems
you ditched it all.
We sold it all.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad did. He did very well. And I got nothing, which I'm fine with.
I'm sure that's fine.
Well, it's his money, and he asked me to invest. It was fun to do. But I will say that as I sat there watching this rollout, I said, one, the price point's wrong. Two, like in every Apple rendition of their products, they don't give you the best that they have right away.
Right.
So you're basically getting a smaller iPad 2 instead of a smaller iPad 4, which was also released. So there's a new iPad with a better display and a longer battery life and a better processor that's come out as well. Now, without getting into too much detail, the question is, will the Apple fanboys like myself probably get an iPad Mini? I would want one.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm going to run out and get one. But it's also kind of strange for me, guys, where now we're coming into a place where I see people using their iPads more.
Right.
But my only concern is always the data plans and how much you're going to be spending to go mobile with your now mobile device.
Right. Now, does the Mini
not the wireless Wi-Fi, but your wireless network connection to Verizon, AT&T, or whoever.
So the Mini starts at $329. I guess it goes to $649.
I've got some specs for you. Yes.
Okay.
We've got $329. It can go up to $529, but for 64 gigs, which is I know you're a big dog.
Right.
If you add $130 to any version, that'll give you cellular.
So it does have. It does not come with the cellular.
No, you got to pay extra for that.
As an option.
The screen is 7.9 inches,
which is a little bit bigger than the Kindle.
A little bit bigger than Kindle.
Yeah.
But if you've seen these other tablets, which because Todd's a developer, I've seen because he has literally the guy's got a collection because that's what he has to develop for.
Right. Yeah.
Some of these other tablets are so amazing.
Yeah,
they're
that's
so
what I hear.
Quick
Great
and
features.
fast and beautiful. Yeah. The only problem, and this is where I think Apple, and I know Apple has just cornered the marketplace, is your user interface when it comes to using iTunes.
Syncing.
People are so used to using iTunes.
It plays so well. It really
and
does.
Now, the Amazon Marketplace is great as well. But some people, you're a creature of habit.
Right.
And so when you sit there, you're like, well, I already have everything that's a PC, so I'm going to get another PC.
Right.
I already have everything that's an Apple product, so I'm going to get another Apple product because I want them all to talk to each other.
Right.
And if you don't know enough about computers, kind of don't know that you can make them talk to each other.
Right.
But it
people
is
don't want to
easier.
deal with it.
It is easier if it's all
They
Apple.
make it easier on purpose. It's like how they get you addicted.
Yeah, it is.
The one
first taste is free, Buzz.
The one funny thing I thought was interesting is that people had complained about how heavy these iPads were, and the iPad Mini is going to be lighter at 0.69 ounces.
And a lot of people don't know that
pound.
the standard iPad or the iPad 2, which I have, it weighs 17 pounds.
No, that's the thing. It's like how much smaller and lighter do you want it to be?
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know, round
That's
robin.
over 3 bags of sugar.
I'm definitely going to get it because I've got a big hole in my heart, and I fill it up with gadgets.
Okay,
but,
you are Apple fanboy, but then so is Mark. Mark,
I am.
What is your gut on this? Because I'm not the fanboy you guys are,
right?
But I've got a definite feeling.
Yeah.
I've got a definite feeling about the Mini. What is your thought on it?
I don't know. For me, I could care less about a Mini. I'm happy with an
Couldn't
iPad.
Care less.
Thank you. I couldn't care less.
Thank
you. Thank you.
No, I knew that as well.
I'm very happy with my iPad 2. I never upgraded to the
I still
third
have the iPad
generation.
1.
That's right.
Yeah.
With the crank?
Yeah. You got to hold up to the sun so it works.
They were made of wood.
In my opinion, I think one of the big problems with the stock going down, to me, the $329 price, I don't see it as a big deal because people pay.
You distrust it.
People pay more for Apple products.
Exactly,
They're just
and
used
Apple
to
knows that. If I can
Yeah.
interject here, I think Apple has become what Sony used to be. You used to always
Very
pay
cool,
more
yeah.
for a Sony TV than any other TV, and you were paying for the name,
but-
and that's what you're doing with Apple, and Apple knows it, and that's what
You
they're
know what's
doing.
strange? Well, this goes into like really marketing dorky
Right.
product positioning your product in a different way, right?
Sure.
So there was a school of thought that said everything had to be 99 because that people thought they were getting a deal,
Right.
And then so
See it in gas
even
stations
if
all the
it's
time.
$329.99, it's still not that round number that people are used to wrapping their heads around.
Maybe it's 70% of the price of the bigger iPad because it's 70% of the size.
Yeah, but if you don't have an iPad and you see $329, why wouldn't you spend the $500 to get the newest iPad with everything? That's a faster machine. That's got a better resolution
because
screen.
I imagine that it's going to be for the casual user, and especially I think Robert for kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that kids,
Robert wishes.
Robert is the casual user. He never wears a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
But
kids
an
are so
iPod Touch
fascinated
is
by it.
something. Wouldn't that make
Yeah,
sense?
and I think that's their marketing problem because the Touch now does everything, and kids have good enough vision they can get by with a
that's fine
3
for
and
kids.
And
But
Julia
for
lives.
gaming, a Mini would be better to use
It
than
would.
an
I
iPad.
I don't know.
or
Look,
iPod.
I floated.
You think it's a misplaced product?
Yeah, I floated an idea to my.
Did we even need this product? Will it fail or
That's
succeed?
that is
it's
my
gonna
thought.
it's going to succeed,
Of course.
but it would have succeeded. This is the richest company in the world.
Right.
They could have made more money by going to $299 and
Selling more in
Their
bulk.
stock price went down because people said that's strange. Hello, we've never seen that. And there's a formula that Apple's always followed, and they're breaking away from that formula, and that's when people get bugged out.
Do you think it's because of Jobs' death?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Absolutely.
getting away from it. How did they? Did you watch the presentation online?
I watched the keynote after the fact. I didn't watch it live.
Okay,
I watched it after.
You're
the fact.
slipping, dude.
Well, now I was
Should have been there with Puzzle.
Very hard to see that live.
I was doing my 9 to 5, and then Todd calls me. He's like, "Did you see the iPad?" I'm like, "I am in a black hole of mobile computer labs and man grates because I forgot it was today."
By the way, how's the launch of the Man Grate Mini?
Oh well, you know,
It's a smaller grill.
it's for your hibachi grill.
That's right.
But
For
after
Cornish hens.
after seeing the presentation or the highlights of the presentation, did they blow it, or were they able to do what Apple has done in the past and give all you geeks the one magic moment?
They should have done this. It wasn't a magic moment. Everybody knew it was coming, and
That's another mistake that they're doing
they've
now.
done this. I think for the last 3 keynotes, everybody's known something's coming, and they already know it before. They've done such a great job in the past,
Right.
keeping it under wraps. My only feeling, as a fan of the product and the brand itself, and take Steve Jobs out of it, is that there is a place that when you pay a premium for an Apple product, you're aware of that. That's
Right,
fine.
sure.
But when you feel like you're being taken advantage of, which is the way I feel with iPad Mini.
Seems like a little bit extra.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
I feel taken advantage of with the fact if I had just purchased the iPad 3 6 months ago, and then because that was a surprise,
Yes.
nobody was expecting
Exactly.
another generation of the regular iPad
Right.
to come out yesterday. that's a real slap in the face for all those people that waited in line and wanted that brand new iPad.
Now, I have a PC and obviously an iPhone and some iPods. What if I bought a Kindle Fire? I would be able to sync. I mean, there is a way to do that.
You can take all your music that's not encoded, and most of them aren't now, MP3 wise.
However, older iTunes purchases still are. I run into it before we were doing this show, and I became devoted to Amazon, and I still run into records that I bought on iTunes, and they're encoded as MP4s.
I think pre-2010, pre-2009.
And you're going to have to do a lot of converting, and you're going to run into it, and
It's
it
a pain in the
sucks.
butt,
It really is. But you know what? I also felt that it was worth it to convert when I did. And I love the fact that, Apple talks to Apple talks to Apple, and I run into problem. Carrie's still running a PC with Vista.
Yeah, wow.
And, and it is really, really hard.
Speaking of Microsoft, another, as I mentioned, a big week, and this will all be covered on Tech 401 in detail. But Windows 8 comes out.
Just run this.
Yeah, we might have to. Windows 8, busy Friday. But Windows 8 is coming out Friday, and Todd has had a good run.
A lot of people have
8.
suspected that, what with the dressing, the way it dresses, the way it talks, coming out.
Never
mind.
Of the closet.
Hi, I'm your OS.
There are mixed results for it. I root for Microsoft because while I'm an Apple fan, it just seems
not
like
me.
There are some missteps, and they continue to make them. And because Todd again gets a little extra preview of these operating systems and what they do. There's some good things, there's some bad things, but he thinks they missed the mark. But I can't get his full review until
I've read brutal reviews of Windows 8. Some of the folks who've tried it just absolutely hate it.
Wasn't there optimism based on the strength of 7? Weren't they thinking that they were heading in the right direction?
7 is not a bad system.
No, I use 7 at work.
Very happy with 7.
All right, now speaking of PCs, we'll try and wind up this tech talk because we really don't want to destroy all your show prep.
No, more importantly, there's an Android app for the Mike O'Mara Show.
That's
Download
right.
it today.
That's the important That is very important.
Yeah,
Very
what 2 big weeks of tech news.
Yeah, well, that'll be your second break on Tech 411. And how's your keyboard?
It's sick. I may be forced now to get a new computer. I use a laptop as my main computer, and I'm having trouble typing the letter M and the letter U primarily.
Both.
and
Both in marijuana.
Marijuana.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
Right.
And I've shaken the crumbs out of the keyboard, and I've blasted it out with compressed air, and it's not fixing.
I don't think that's the gesture for compressed air, Buzz.
No.
I don't know. You're compressing something else if you're making that gesture. But your keyboard is dying, and your primary computer is not a desktop. It is a laptop.
That's right.
So you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I kind of am. It's going to be time to get a new computer, I think, because if Oscar and I were talking about maybe you have the keyboard repaired.
Right.
Or replaced. Well, you could, but I'd have to give it up for at least a day, if not longer, to wait for that repair, or the parts or whatever.
What in the 24-hour cycle are you going to miss out on?
Well, he's got to do his news.
Got to do the news.
Writing the news, the commercials, the birthdays,
but
and
don't you
my
have
banking,
a desktop?
everything else. No, I don't.
Does Marsha have a computer?
She has a laptop also as her main computer.
Couldn't you just borrow hers?
Yeah, I suppose so, although all my bookmarks
But
and stuff
it's
are
filled
mine.
with recipes and Pinterest and all the
right.
girl things.
Bunnies.
Hey, but what about
Bunnies and kitties.
as a temporary fix? What if you got yourself a cheap keyboard that you had a USB out? Could you not put that in there?
I could do that, or even a wireless
Oh yes,
one. Yeah.
Bluetooth.
That's.
I was about
yeah.
to say something.
Robert's heard the word.
Bitch.
Right. Robert, don't say that. It just means female dog.
Yeah.
Does Oscar scare you?
Sort of.
Yeah. Be very, very afraid.
Right. I think I just heard that 2 days ago.
So that's your solution. You can Bluetooth
That'll get me by.
Yeah,
for sure.
and there you go.
Look at you.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I thought this is the Model T over here. Just told us about the Bluetooth keyboard.
Henry Ford, the Henry Ford.
I'm once again at that crossroads of PC or Apple. What do I do?
Do you think you're going to pull the trigger?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's partly about money, as it has been all along.
Do you? This is the one deal. If you really like PC and you're a creature of habit,
Man, you took the words right out of my mouth.
You're a creature of habit. Get a PC.
Yeah.
Because all you're going to do with Apple is yell at it. You're going to yell at it, and then
Buzz loves to yell,
and then you're going to yell at us, and then you're going to be mad at us.
That's right, and I blame you.
Yeah, you'll blame us in one way or another. Get a PC, but you don't have to buy a Highline PC. The prices of these PC laptops have come down.
Yeah, they really
You don't have to buy a Toshiba. You don't have to buy a Sony. Those are the high-end ones. You can get a Lenovo, which isn't a big brand.
You know what's great? Kirkland.
But it does. No, it
Kirkland
really.
PC.
There are school systems across the country that buy these Lenovos, and they are amazing.
Spell it.
And Lenovo.
Okay, it's not like. Is that like a Bolivian computer? Or?
No. Lenovo. Lenovo. That's Lenovo.
Okay.
It's actually popular. You
I'll
can
look
get
it
it
up.
out there. It's like a new Dell, but
And
better.
I totally trust you. I just
And
have not
you
heard
can
of
get
it before.
Samsung's got new. Vizio's got new computers. You like the brand name though.
Well,
I feel you're more confident.
I found the Toshibas to be very dependable. This one, for example, has lasted a number of years.
How many years
Before
have you had your
it
computer?
broke?
I'm going to say 4.
Oh my God! What are you doing? It's time to upgrade.
Yeah,
4 years.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. The problem with buying a Kirkland laptop, you have to buy 5 of them. Come in a multi-color.
Come in a big box.
If you bought a new laptop today, your news would be done, I would imagine, 10 times faster.
Not only that, Buzz, you'd be able to report the news before it happened.
Maybe 10 seconds before.
You would be so surprised how fast these machines move now. Do you wait a lot?
Not a lot. I mean, some for the internet, and I even got higher speed internet, but mostly no. It's a pretty snappy little, for a 4 gig, pretty snappy little computer.
Well, I'm going to go ahead to one of those tech websites and Google the word snappy. And say, what do you got that's snappy? I'm looking for something snappy.
I'll show you snappy.
Yeah, stick around, or snippy. Stick around. When we come back, we're going to talk speeding, and it is the MikeO'MaraShow.com. Now here's Buzz with some snappy copy.
Well, the second segment of our show today brought to you by Wait Not.
Yes.
Call them at 855. Excuse me. Call them, please.
I don't think that's on the diet.
At 855 Wait Not. That's 855-934-4486. Or look them up at waitnot.com. Unbelievable results you can believe in. What's the latest?
I tell you what, you can have 130 milligrams of that. That's all. I was going to mention this now. Actually, Mark brought it up earlier. It is a little fey. It is a little, not like me, but Robert and I are wearing matching T-shirts.
You are.
And I will say this again. For me, this is so huge. For a guy that could not just go out and buy a T-shirt for the bulk of my adult life, I can go out and just buy any T-shirt sized XL, and it fits me because I have, thanks to Wait Not, lost 100 pounds.
Wow, congratulations.
I am off medications that I've been on for years.
You look great.
I feel better every time I get up. And the thing about Wait Not is it allows you to do it by eating real food and living a real life. It's a real lifestyle change, and I can do it.
You look happier.
I am happier.
And not just healthier, but happier.
You look completely different.
Yeah, I do. I have changed.
By the way, as of tomorrow, we're going to have a big announcement about Wait Not and Reno.
Oh, we got a lot of announcements about Reno coming up.
Yes,
so
we
as a
do.
matter of fact, if you wanted to get to Reno and for some reason something has prevented you, you may want to stay tuned.
Yes.
So we have an announcement coming
Wonderful.
up. But Reno aside, come see the new Slim Me. And if you doubt anything I say, please look at my Facebook page. And I am literally ashamed of my before picture that I had to post. I had to come up with a before picture for the Wait Not people. It's disgusting, and in many ways it's sad, but I'm so proud of what I've done. Please take a look at it, and if you want to make the change, Wait Not is the way to do it.
Robert, you must be very proud of your father. I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, but you should be proud of him, right?
What do you think of his progress?
The weight loss, buddy, you
cool.
like it?
Yeah.
And what happens when I finally hit my goal of 220? What do we get out?
The fryer.
That's right. Just for a day. But,
Just one day.
Yeah, we've put the fryer away, but boy, are we going to have some tater tots when that ends. You know what? Thanks to Wait Not, that is not that far away. The number again, Buzz, I'm sorry.
It's 855 Wait Not. That's 855-934-4486, or go to waitnot.com. Unbelievable results you can believe in.
They are the best. You lose weight really fast. And speaking of fast, who here drives the fastest, do we think? I know it's not me.
I'm going to guess maybe Oscar.
Yeah.
With that ride that he has?
Yeah.
His ride with his James Bond license plate.
I need to actually get out of that speeding ticket, and I think I found a loophole in the law.
Really?
What? Now, give us a recap. Where do we stand?
I got a speeding ticket, I want to say, this is the second speeding ticket, the most recent one about a month ago.
Right.
Court date's November 13th, and I pay the fine, I just don't want the points, right?
Sure.
Right.
But
So
then
what's your out?
as I'm reading the ticket, it says race white. I'm clearly not white.
It's not going to work.
Tell me about it.
Now, if they filled it out the wrong way, is it a old wives' tale that they say that it should be thrown out?
Old wives' tale.
It
I
is?
mean, unless you've got...
I'm not white. I'm tan and Hispanic.
Unless you've got a connected lawyer, it's not going to work.
Robert,
Really?
do you think Oscar is white?
No.
Okay.
Do I look white?
No.
Thank you.
No, you see, that's your lawyer. There's, you know what? Have Robert as your
please.
mouthpiece. He's got a suit.
I just don't want the points on my license.
I understand,
That's
but
what
you
I
know,
want.
but
can I
Buzz,
go to driving school in Virginia?
You can
Yes.
take online driving
You
school.
can do it online at your
But
convenience.
do
now.
I do
And
it?
you can even do it online if your M and your U don't work.
Do I do it? Do I do it before I go to court or afterwards?
Wait till after.
Yeah, you roll the dice. There's always a chance.
Yeah, you can talk to me about this later, but you can go to the Virginia DMV website and find out if the points have even shown up. You have to, really, you need to wait. I guess you don't have to wait, but I prefer to wait until the points actually show up and then have them
But if I
removed.
went to driving school and I show up and say, Your Honor, I'm a buffoon, I went to driving school, I clearly have made a mistake. I'm
Prepare a
embarrassed by
sign.
this.
Prepare a sign that says buffoon.
That couldn't
Right?
hurt. That couldn't hurt.
A
You could absolutely do that.
proactive approach.
Yeah, there are private online schools that are state accredited. It's like $39
Yes.
to take the course, and it can take like 5 points off your record.
Where do you stand point wise now?
I don't want to know.
You gotta know.
I think with this is probably 4 points because it's Virginia,
right?
The Nazi state. I would say
just because I live here.
No, I would say in Maryland that's 2 points speeding. In Virginia it's 4 points.
You have to upgrade. You have to upgrade to that license plate. You can either get Virginia for teachers or Virginia the Nazi state. It's $25 a year.
This is my first speeding ticket in the past 4 years.
Okay.
So I've been trying to hold back.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good. I've done worse
I was
than
just
that,
going
I think.
really fast.
Yeah.
So I would say that if I get, since I have a lot that need to be dropped off.
Sure.
If I get these 4, there will be a good time that I'll have 9 points on my license.
Wow.
You don't want to know what I paid for
That
car
goes from
insurance.
being a soccer game to a football game.
Yes.
That's too many points.
So I need the points off. The other question is, should I hire representation?
I mean, I think
maybe just Todd.
I mean, I've hired a lawyer
No.
to go to traffic school before for me. I mean, traffic court.
I used to, when I lived in Chicago,
Yeah.
I lived in the suburb just outside the city,
Yeah.
and I worked in the city, and I was constantly getting speeding tickets in both places. I actually had a traffic court lawyer for the city and for the county courthouses. And
Did they help?
Boy,
yeah,
you know,
always
Buzz-
consistently. Yeah, but they you know, like
They're
the
connected,
the
for one
lawyers
thing,
and
right?
the judges went to school together. They're old buds.
I will pay. I need a lawyer.
Right.
Yes.
Here we go.
And I want a guy that doesn't have late night commercials.
right. You know,
Or shady meth connections
Right.
like in Breaking Bad.
No.
Fosker
You don't want
Fantana
that.
wants us some
Yes.
representation.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, speeding overall, look,
You're against it.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid, and I'm against it. But I will say what I'm more against is these driving speed cameras that you either get a red light or you get a speed
I
camera
hate
or you get
those.
a stop sign.
Oh, I have a question. I was driving to Quench last Wednesday night, and I figured out the fastest way to get from Leesburg to Rockville, especially during rush hour, is actually to go over White's Ferry and take the boat over the Potomac.
Yes.
And
They don't allow blacks on White's Ferry.
No,
do they?
that's not why it's named that.
Oh, sorry.
But I always write my races white on every traffic ticket
Yeah.
just to be sure. It's also a really nice ride. And I was driving through Poolesville, Maryland, scenic Poolesville, Maryland, and I might have been exceeding the speed limit. And I swear I saw a flash.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
the
you
speed
probably
cameras
did.
have
I hate
flashes?
those speed cameras.
They
Yeah.
do have flashes.
Red light I don't mind so much, but speed cameras are just ridiculous.
Don't care for that.
What about stop sign cameras?
What are
Are
they?
there
That's
any?
the newest
They're
thing.
coming to D.C.
They are.
Oh, your favorite town.
Oh my God, I love living in the nation's capital. There's something great about jogging or walking a mile down the road and seeing all the monuments and seeing.
Would you agree,
the Potomac
though,
River.
that living in D.C. is a lot more romantic for someone who lives a long way from D.C.?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
because there's problems. There's
Yeah,
inherent
look,
problems.
the grass is always greener on the other side.
That's right.
But it's become this state of just cameras and these politicians
Big
saying
brother.
that it's all about safety, but it's all about revenue.
That's what
And
it's
in
really
Maryland,
about.
it's the same case. The one great thing about a speed camera, though, is that if you pay it, you don't get any points.
Right. That's correct.
But,
I found that
but
out.
you consider that a tax. It's just a tax. You're getting
what it
taxed.
is.
Revenue.
Yeah.
It's revenue.
And as a man who's gotten multiple speeding camera tickets, I always feel like, well, as long as I don't get the points, I'll pay the $50.
Now, I don't have much problem with the stop sign camera because I don't run stop signs. At least that's been
Well, didn't
my.
you just
Let me
run
look
stop
at.
sign?
Let me review your record, Buzz.
Yeah, well,
Didn't you go to court about running a stop sign?
that was a setup by thugs.
Yeah.
But
It was a sting operation.
Victim of the machine.
There's a T
That's
intersection.
Elston. Let's get him.
Exactly. And I want to talk to you about that. There's a T intersection near my house where the straight-throughs run the stop signs all the time. I wouldn't mind a camera there. But how mad does it make you? I wanted to ask you this. When you see every day people running the stop sign that you and I got nailed for running, even though I still say I didn't.
I ran it. I copped to that.
I get mad when I see other people just sailing.
I get my prescriptions there.
Yeah.
So I sit there.
Oh, because it is
at
right.
the stop sign.
Well, it's at the historic drugstore district.
Yeah.
So every time I walk out, I see the sting operation, and because they just park in that parking lot, and then they just roll out. And I sit there and I say, if you remember, if you're a Mike O'Mara show aficionado, the officer said yes. A lot of people confuse that yield sign for that.
And we know that we're cashing in on it.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah. So they sit there. It's a tax.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's worse than the camera.
Yeah, it is.
That's worse than the camera.
It's a setup. It's a trick.
Because then the jerk has. Well, I'm sorry. Because then the officer has to come and talk to you and tell you, hey, man, you ran that stop sign.
They shouldn't be wasting hours on that. They should be out solving crime.
Yeah, fight crime.
Go out and find the Joker.
If I see one more bicycle with a guy that doesn't look like he belongs on a bicycle, and I'm not talking about my people, the guy's clearly running drugs. He's a drug mule on this road. Maybe bust his ass.
So we all like to drive fast. I've gone pretty fast at times in the past.
How fast?
The fastest I've ever driven?
Yes.
On Route 15 one night, Robert, as Oscar would say, earmuffs, 108.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
you were in that Cutlass, right?
Yeah, it was a Caprice, but it was a Caprice with a police package. And I said, I wonder if this really goes as fast as they allege it. And yes, it does.
See, I think I've gone 100 miles an hour once in my life, and it terrified me so much.
Yeah,
it is scary. It's something about that third digit that makes it really creepy.
I bail about 90.
Yeah, good for you.
I can't top
90. You'd be okay, Buzz, in Texas.
I would.
What's going on in Texas?
Have you heard about this?
No.
They've got a stretch of highway that connects Austin and San Antonio, and I think it's funny that it goes through a town called Creedmoor, which is the name of the mental asylum in New York City.
Oh,
Creedmoor, yeah. But it's a road that was funded half by private funds and half by the state. So like the Dulles Toll Road, the extension, the Greenway, that's all privately owned.
It will be a toll road.
So, but this is a toll road, but the speed limit, 85 miles an hour. It opened today. Wouldn't that be great? Because here's the thing: if it's 85, people are driving 95.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
And get away with it.
Because they say, what is it? The unspoken rule: you can always go 7 miles above the speed limit.
Right. It's 10, isn't it 10?
That's 15, 30,
14 in my book.
I'll go. Just back up. I thought there was some tax and federal situation, but if it's private, I guess they can do whatever they want.
What happened is, as I recall, and Buzz, help me if I'm remembering it wrong, is that when we were in the fuel crunch in the 70s, they lowered the national speed limit to 55, and all states copped to it because if they didn't, they stopped receiving federal funding.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they needed as a national thing, but it turned out it never did save gas.
No.
And it didn't really save a lot of lives.
No, it didn't. In
and
fact,
so we got away from it. And I think the toll road is 75 now, isn't it?
I don't.
The Greenway, I think, is 75.
No. The Greenway's not. No, I think it's 65. I've never gone. So you would know better. But when I'm on that thing, I don't. I think people drive like it's the Autobahn, but it's not.
Right.
Really.
It's great, and I've been on the Autobahn in the snow.
How come they can drive that fast there and we can't drive that fast here?
Because they're getting to the rally. And they want to get there fast.
So, another quick question, just with speed alone. This is funny you even brought this up. So Shannon, I know that you you're aware of her, and everybody on the show is aware of her.
Aware of her? How kind of you. I recall her.
She's not a bigger character than Todd, but
that's true.
To be a character on the show.
And by the way, we're going to have to restack the rankings after today's program because Robert actually stopped in for a game, so he might be ahead of Todd as a character.
Yeah.
We'll talk, Robert.
So.
And Robert was strined before Todd was too.
That's very true. And Robert doesn't look like Gargamel. But I'm sorry.
I don't think that's been fixed yet. So just throwaway comment. So she said that she started driving 60 to work.
Yeah.
And she saved so much money in gas.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a noticeable, 5 miles an hour?
As opposed to what speed was she doing before?
I think she was
10.
No, it's just she puts on cruise at 60, and I think she was driving. She was going maybe probably 65, 70 when she could, but she just goes 60 all the way.
I hear 60 is the ideal.
And she said,
speed.
and then she started rattling off all these numbers that I was just like, are you making this up?
Yeah.
And she said that there is some sort of barrier that if you go above, she said maybe 65, a number there, that it doesn't matter how fast you go after that. It's just how much air is going into your engine.
Is the
right?
prime speed.
60.
Anything over or under that is bad mileage.
What you should do, write an algorithm for speed on your dorm room window and see if it solves. But it makes sense.
I'm going to crash the network, though, if I do that.
Engines are tuned to certain things. They're electronically tuned.
Yeah.
Like if you use an engine that's tuned for 87 octane gas and you're putting in 89 or 93, you're just wasting your money and you're not getting the performance. So maybe her engine is optimized for 60.
And cruise control makes a big difference, too. That's a lot steadier fuel.
I don't like cruise control.
You've got to be out in the wide
Why
open.
don't you like it?
I feel like I want control over the car, and I feel like if you have cruise control on, you're not paying attention to the road.
If you're driving from Austin to San Antonio, you will use your cruise control.
I would
anytime in the Midwest.
When I go to Pittsburgh, actually that city's come up. I used to hate Pittsburgh.
Really?
It's actually a nice place now.
Wow.
Now it still looks like a place that Batman, The Dark Knight Rises would be filmed in. Because,
Gotham.
Yeah, it looks like Gotham, but it's still a nice place to visit. I've turned the corner there. But when I drive there,
quick, change the literature. Oscar has endorsed our city.
Yeah. Oh, I won't go that far. But not
you did it.
Not so bad for a cup of coffee. And I sat there and I said, well, cruise control would be so much better than dealing with these yahoos on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you start looking around and looking at all the pretty colors and not caring about what you're doing on the road.
No, I think cruise control, I like it because if I'm not paying attention and my foot is still on the gas, I'll sometimes glance down and I'm going 78.
Yep.
You still have to steer.
But what about...
No, not on mine.
What about the occasion where you think everything's under control and someone brakes in front of you really fast? And
you're still paying attention to that. You keep your
I
foot ready to go.
I usually keep my foot on the gas pedal, but I don't obviously apply pressure when I'm on cruise control. This way I can still kind of move my foot the same way I would normally
Couldn't you save gas with cruise control?
No, I think it eats gas.
I don't think it does. I think it saves it.
No, because of the steadiness of the fuel being fed, you actually save gas.
You know what's interesting is that there are no real men in this room right now.
I know.
But Robert still has a chance.
Yeah. If there was a real man, he would have break down every piece of engine component that went into this and the mass fuel injector and talk about things that we don't know about.
We'll have that this week on Car 411.
But there's no real men on the show.
No, you're right.
Hey, even real men don't know anymore because engines have changed so much and they've become so electronic that you've got to have special training. Used to be anybody could work on an engine, but not anymore.
How about this? So, you go to...
Are you about to blow my mind? You have a tone.
You go to Track Auto or you go to any of these places, Advanced Auto Parts. Usually when you're...
Track Auto, where the current time is 1978.
Yeah, when you go in, you get a light bulb, you just try to figure out how to change it yourself if you can.
Right, you need to buy the special screwdriver.
Or the guy comes and does it for you if you're a hot girl.
Right.
Like, I've never had a guy come out and change my light bulb.
No,
literally, he's like, check your manual.
Right.
Shannon gets guys to come out and they're probably bending over backwards, jacking the car up, they're checking out the oil. They're like, let me check your fluids.
Is that code? A lot of code in there.
Yeah.
I say that.
But that happens all the time to her, and I said, look, just go. We had a blinker out on the BMW.
Right.
I said, go to Track Auto. They're going to help you. If I go there, they should point me to the manual.
No, you know what? You could get it done if you went to gay Track Auto.
No. No. The guy at Track Auto didn't know how to do it.
What?
He went on YouTube, saw some guy did a step-by-step, went outside of our apartment building, changed it ourselves.
Wow.
Yes.
So your computer is more of a man than you are.
It is.
And tell Shannon that 60 miles an hour cruise control is great, but not around the neighborhood. Only on the highways.
School zones.
I got a fantastic audio vault. I seldom come to work excited because I dread it and I hate all you guys.
Well,
but today's going to be fun, so stick around. Audio vault on the other side of these. MikeO'MaraShow.com. And we're back, MikeO'MaraShow.com, and we are sponsored.
This time by Encore Insurance Services,
Encore!
LLC, official sponsor of our live stage show November 10th at Circus in Reno. Oscar tried Encore and loved it.
Loved it.
And for a free insurance quote, visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. They do all the work for you. Encore compares rates to help you save. License and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. We are so proud and grateful to be sponsored again by Encore Insurance Services.
Let me add this just quickly.
Sure, please do.
You may think you don't need life insurance in any way. But
hey, Robert, you don't need life insurance in any way.
Shape or form, just because maybe you don't think you have assets that you would like to be covered if something bad happens or protect. Think about your family. Think about your if you have any credit card debt. Think about if you just bought a home.
Think about the extreme cost of a funeral.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to leave, and I'm not talking about $1 million policy. I'm talking about a $250,000 policy that would cover everything that you may or may not owe, and maybe a little left over for someone in your life, something bad happens.
Right.
And just, I'm talking for less than a gym membership, this could happen for you.
That's
right.
It's much cheaper when you're young like Oscar.
Yeah, just check it out now.
And you can still, but it's never too late.
Right,
never too late. Thank you for opening the thing. Finally, we talked a lot about Honey Boo Boo the last few days, but finally there's a reality show that I think I can be on.
Really?
On the Learning Channel, Extreme Cheapskate.
Oh.
And this is a lady.
I can't wait to see that.
Wait till you hear this. You're
Okay.
going to love this. She's 51. She retired last year. And she doesn't have a very extraordinary story. She has a few rental properties that she takes care of. But due to extreme budgeting, she only spends about $12,000 a year.
Wow.
That's all she puts out. But yet, she became a millionaire at age 50. Let us meet extreme millionaire, cheapskate, Victoria Hunt. Yes, I said Hunt.
In an effort to save money, I started peeing in a jar. Just coincidentally happens to be in a lemonade jar. Quite pungent.
Quite pungent.
And the longer it sits, the stronger it gets.
Yeah.
I had read online that you can put your urine into your compost pile. And I thought, wow, I can pee in a jar, build my compost, and not have to flush my toilet. My water bill went from $30 a month to $20 a month.
Yes.
So there's $10 right there.
Well,
So I pee in a bottle, but don't get me wrong. I poop like everybody else,
Right.
and I put
Well,
that
that's
in a
good.
toilet. And so I flush probably one or two times a day.
She puts that in the toilet.
Wow.
This is how she became a millionaire.
Yes, because she's
This is how Mitt Romney did it.
nearly $10 a month by peeing in a lemonade jar.
Yeah, she's started her own waste management plant. That's in her home.
And also, I'm wondering
Brilliant.
if she's still flushing,
Ugh.
why can't she pour the urine and do the old, if it's yellow, let
It
it,
just
mellow?
goes down.
Because she's
Yeah.
making compost
Yeah.
to grow vegetables so she doesn't have to go to the store so she can be a millionaire.
That's some good vegetables.
I thought the people on Extreme Couponing had a problem.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about budgeting, because it's really all about budgeting.
Yes.
That's how she became a millionaire at age 50.
Every morning I come out here. This is an electric meter. My meter reads 10,297, so I need to go and put that
Her
in
meter,
the
Mark.
Her meter.
I've had this spreadsheet since 1989. I have all of my expenses, food, fun money, birthday presents.
Bet she doesn't have a lot of fun money. That's just a guess. These are only previews, so we don't know how much fun money she has.
Christmas, you name it, I've got it covered. I don't have a paycheck coming in every day, so I need to make sure that my income exceeds my expenses.
Sure.
So I set up this spreadsheet to budget my entire life, and it goes all the way out to age 116.
She's budgeted until she's 116 years old.
Well, there's got to be a happy medium to that.
Exactly.
I don't think there's anything happy about this at all.
Is she married?
I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
She's not a bad-looking dame.
Oh, really?
For 51, you would think. I'm thinking like Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Yeah.
But I looked at her. She's not horrible looking, but she has a boyfriend. Although, as in any relationship, there are issues.
You've been here one day. If I extrapolate on a monthly basis, my water bill has gone up 30%.
You know that in one day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Extrapolate.
I need you to start peeing in a bottle for me.
No.
It's not that big a deal.
I'm really not that interested in peeing in a bottle.
I'm not saying it's interesting in any fashion.
Oh,
I'm
it
saying,
is.
would you please do it to help save money?
Pee in a bottle.
There's no difference. Yeah, you're standing at the toilet. You're either going in this vestibule or this vestibule. How about if I get
What?
you your own special bottle? We can have his and hers.
Cute vessel.
Were they
Now
going to
I'm peeing in a
actually
bottle.
share?
Are you saying yes?
Okay, fine. I'll try it one time.
Thank you.
It's enough to make me watch the second episode. But remember the rule, no asparagus in her house. So watch out for that show. That's Extreme Cheapskates.
Sure
Look for the
is.
Victoria Hunt episode. Now, one of the most recognizable musical logos is probably the 20th Century Fox music. Before every 20th Century
I love hearing that.
Okay. This was written by a composer at Fox, Newman. Is it not Lionel Newman?
Alfred E.
No, it's not. But it's actually
Mailman, right?
Randy Newman, the pop singer. It's his uncle, I think.
Oh, really?
And he also wrote the extension when they did stuff in CinemaScope. So this is actually from
this
Star
is it.
Wars.
Yeah.
And it's got the longer end to it.
Yeah.
Great here. I love this.
10 o'clock news. 10 o'clock news.
So I love that. That's one of my favorite pieces of musical logoage. I don't know why I found this so funny. Here's a guy playing the recorder along with it. And the recorder is great because both of my kids have played the recorder. Robert is currently playing the recorder and knows how to play hot cross buns.
The recorder.
Like a flute, almost.
It's like a flute, only bigger.
Why don't you just call it a flute?
Because it's not a flute.
It's different.
It's
you hold it straight instead of sideways. A flute
is it part of the
sideways.
brass family?
No, it's a woodwind.
woodwind.
It's a woodwind. Oh. But anyway, it's really not suited to this arrangement, but I found this really enjoyable. It's on YouTube.
I'll look that up.
Oh, and he's so good at it.
That poor kid.
You can play better than that, right, Robert?
Now that's good.
Wow. I'm working on a ukulele version.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on that.
But that's good. But if we played that with the recorder and then we threw in a saxophone, now you've got something.
Oh, man.
I've seen these.
The end of civilization.
Mark, I think your brother sounds better than ever.
Thank you.
Bad day yesterday for Carlton Fisk. Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk, baseball player. Let's go to the tape.
Hall of Fame catcher Carlton Fisk facing charges of driving under the influence and other misdemeanors.
Yeah.
Police in the Chicago suburb of New Lenox say Fisk was found asleep in his pickup truck in a cornfield. Police say he was behind the wheel and had an open bottle of vodka on the floor.
Really, in a cornfield? That's sad.
Oh, that sucks.
That is sad. And you know what the owner of the cornfield said?
If you build it, people come.
And he did.
And he did, sometimes twice. Oh, back to music here. I love dogs that talk and sing, and they don't really talk and sing, but occasionally they seem to, and huskies seem to be the most vocal breeds of dogs. Here's a husky that seems to really like or really hate, can't tell which one, Gwen Stefani.
That's actually cool.
It's better too. That's worth getting a dog right there.
Yeah.
That's a singing dog, man. That's great.
Thanks for bringing up dogs, Rob.
Too soon?
Not so good?
No, she's doing
I was
okay.
getting teary-eyed.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that sucks, man.
We'll see. It's to be continued with my dog.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
What's going on with the eye?
Well, we still don't know yet. I mean, I think surgery is inevitable.
No.
But right now we're still treating it for the inflamed area, and
inflammation has to come down before you make a
It has
decision,
come down though already, and the pressure's down a bit. So she's getting there, but you know,
a little more comfortable.
Would it make you happier to blow up a record? Would that cheer you up?
Yes.
Good news, because it is October. Rod Stewart's Christmas album is out. And see how long you can stand this. His voice, amazing how his voice has held up through the years. Sounds just terrific.
Explosives are standing by.
Silent night, holy night.
Horny night.
Help us! Oh, God, you gotta find it! Come on.
Where is it?
Oh, no, you're killing me!
Did you say horny night?
We can't stop it until we blow it up.
How's that?
Ran over his throat.
In a cornfield.
Yeah.
I guess because he ran out of songs from the Great American Songbook. Now he's singing Christmas songs. Or as Mark calls them, songs.
I'm a closet Rod Stewart fan.
Well, you come out of the closet anytime you
No,
want.
I really like some of his
Well,
songs.
I like his early stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, when he started singing, you know when he blew it is when he started singing the Motown covers. I like his original stuff.
Yeah.
He's a good songwriter and a good singer, but that voice doesn't sing Christmas carols.
And a coxman. Like, I mean, think about the women he's dated in his life.
Yes, and maybe on both sides,
Oh,
from
really?
what
I
I've
did
heard.
not know
Yeah,
that. Wow.
Well, there's rumors.
There are rumors. Yeah.
I heard it. I heard a figure 12 ounces that I will explain to you later.
Thank you.
Buzz had a story last week about a couple in Orlando that had sex in a restaurant.
Yeah, on a patio table outside a restaurant with families and kids watching. It was, an amazing story.
Speaking of kids.
What's Irish and sits outside? Patio table. Now, here is the 911 call from that restaurant sex scandal.
What's going on out there, sir?
Don't listen, Robert.
We had a patron having sex on the patio, so we warned him. and told him, you can't do that. There's kids right down the way, and their customers were complaining. He's intoxicated. Went to get his credit card. He took both beers and tried to take off. Now he's being...
I like that. They catch him in that situation. He says he needs to go get his credit card, but he takes his beers, and then he doesn't go. But wait, that's not the end of the story.
Combatant. Don't touch me. Answer yourself. Now, he's right here with me. He's not touching the guy.
And he's being okay right now?
Yeah, he's just intoxicated. Now he's throwing up. Hey, if you could just step it up a little bit. He's being combative.
Do you know where the girl went? I'm not sure where the female went, but the male is out front, and he's a little aggressive. Was somebody having sex with the girl or no? Yes, this gentleman was. Whether it was consensual or not, I don't know. I just got here.
Orlando 911, will you state your emergency? Yes, we have a guy here. He's become combative. He says his wings aren't crispy enough. If you could step it up, please.
Probably sweaty.
Yeah, horrible, yeah. After having hot outside.
Outdoor sex.
Orlando sex. Very humid. My award this week for the greatest cover for a TV anchor from a miscue goes to the Fox affiliate in Chicago when they're covering the debate and they go to footage of quarterback Jay Cutler. This is handled so perfectly.
He mocked Romney for having said in 2008 that the U.S. should ask Pakistan for permission before launching an attack, such as the one that killed Osama bin Laden.
Well, Jay Cutler is not running for president, but he is at the podium after the Bears game where he suffered an injury. Let's hear what he has to say.
I thought I was gone, and then he got a hold of me, and I knew.
Jay Cutler not running for president. I know. Not running for president. And speaking of presidents, we close with this. Did you know there is a possibility, however slim, that depending on how things go down in the Electoral College this January, there is a chance that we could have a ticket that you are not familiar with. Do you know what happens when the Electoral College ends in a tie?
No.
Listen to this. This is fascinating.
I don't know this myself.
And this could happen, all right? Not likely, but there could be a tie.
Obama and Romney are still neck and neck. This is very interesting. Did you know that it's possible we could wind up with a President Mitt Romney and a Vice President Biden? It's true. If there's a tie in the Electoral College, the Senate picks the vice president and the House picks the president. The Senate leans Democrat and the House leans Republican. So presumably they would pick Romney and Biden. If that happens, they really should make them share an apartment if that happens.
Make a reality show.
That would be great. Romney and Biden. A dog on every car and a foot in every mouth.
So it could happen conceivably. Wow. Don't see it happening, though. That is your Magic Audio Vault. Thank you for closing the thing. And when we come back, buzz with news on the Mike O'Mara Show.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar.
And this reminder, Mike O'Mara back in studio tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have double dose as we record the bonus show tomorrow as well. And we wish him a safe trip back. And I think we're all excited to have him back and to hear about his trip, which all signs point to the fact that it was very life-changing.
Yeah, I think so.
So travel safe, Mike. Can't wait to have you back. Here is Buzz.
The news after this from Buzz, brought to you today by TryLendingTree.com. The leaves are falling, and so are mortgage rates, with the lowest rates in history, 3.125%. You could save hundreds of dollars a month when you refinance through LendingTree. Go to TryLendingTree.com, fill out one simple form, and let over 200 lenders compete for your business. You'll get up to 4 customized offers in just minutes, and it's absolutely free. Do not wait. Visit TryLendingTree.com today. That's TRY, LendingTree.com, and get a free mortgage guide when you enter the code TMOS. Or call 866-291-2010. You'll be confident you got the best deal. Visit TryLendingTree.com and enter the code TMOS. Now here's this guy.
Oh, yeah, here's more Buzz.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.lendingtree.com for details. LendingTree, NMLS, license number 1136, 1312 Village Creek Drive, Suite 900, Plano, Texas, 75093.
Carlton Fisk was so excited about his new finance rate that he got drunk and passed out in a cornfield.
Thank you, me, and now back to me. As expected, fewer people watched that third and final presidential debate this week, with 8 million viewers watching baseball, nearly 11 million watching football. Only 59 people watched this last debate. That's down 8 million from the second debate. Not as down as much as you and I expected it to be.
Yeah, this debate of all debates, I think, mattered to me more often because people don't realize that since we have such a global presence, and I'm not talking just about the military.
We can't ignore the world.
Yeah, it's the economy.
Right.
When Europe suffers, we suffer. If something happens in China,
yesterday's stock market,
everything happens Everything is connected. So it's foreign policy is just as important as our domestic issues. And if there isn't a balance on how you view them and how you approach them, then there's a failure in the system.
Right. Absolutely. Well, between the first debate and the last debate, 10 million viewers fell off in the journey in between. The candidates have started their final swing through the swing states, with Obama playing or portraying himself as the underdog, Romney portraying his campaign as building momentum. The candidates are still virtually tied, of course, with Obama leading in some polls and Romney leading in others. Today is the day that Donald Trump is expected to make what he calls a gigantic revelation about President Obama.
Is it going to be big?
And he says it'll be very big.
Do you think the coverage on Fox News will be big?
It'll be big.
How big?
Just big.
Oh, big. Big is good.
Good. We think we know what the revelation will be.
Cool.
It's old news that Michelle filed for divorce 13 years ago, after Barack lost a run for the state house in Illinois. They have just celebrated 20 years of marriage. For some reason, Trump thinks this is going to
That's it?
Turn the campaign upside down.
Why would that be a problem, you think?
The only thing I can think of is that the Obamas did deny it. After this was first published in a book, they said, no, that's not true. If Trump has the papers, then he can prove that they lied about it.
Well, you know what?
Like that matters.
I don't know a marriage that hasn't had, like, the rough spots.
Hey.
You know?
Look to your right.
Yes.
Right.
Or left.
Happened in Japan.
Hey.
Sorry.
Hey, I deny all that.
There's also a revelation.
Maybe Trump will talk about that.
There's also a revelation today about Mitt Romney. Multiple press reports say the company whose voting machines will count the votes in swing states, including Ohio and Colorado, that company has ties to Mitt Romney. Romney ran Bain Capital, as you know. 7 Bain executives went on to run HIG Capital, which was a key investor in Hart InterCivic. That's the voting machine company.
Yeah.
HIG has also donated $338,000 to the Romney campaign. There's more. HIG Capital has an investor of its own called Solomare, which is run by Romney's son, Tag. A study 5 years ago in Ohio found that Hart InterCivic's voting system does a poor job of protecting election integrity, saying that it was easier to tamper with that system than others.
What do you want to bet that guy Tag's a dick? Just guessing.
I think it's, oh God.
Only if he spells it with
we
2
have
Gs.
to go
He
online
does.
and vote.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
I agree.
Look, I'm sure that there are people out there that'll still go to the polls because they want that experience, just like how people go to the bank now and they put their actual paychecks in because they don't have direct deposit.
Right.
That's got to be available for the general public. But what is it going to take to spend X amount of dollars for us to vote online?
And why the
And
holdup?
we've been calling for this for years, and that's really. And you know what? They really should do
And why
away.
are we the only ones calling for it?
That's right. And
I mean, I never hear anybody else talk about it.
Well, think about it. It doesn't behoove any party, because if everybody gets a vote in the long run, then, I mean, it could be...
How will we exclude people?
What would the shift be?
Right.
I mean, because it's not about being online. It's just about maybe you're with your friends and you have to vote with them, or I don't know how that works out.
Are they worried about people who don't have internet access? There aren't very many left.
But they can still vote.
Yes, they
could.
Yeah,
They
go
could.
somewhere to do that.
And also, I think that one of the deals is that I'm a champion of going out and the voting experience versus early voting.
Yes.
However, if everyone is voting online, then it becomes the new experience. And also, really, really bless the older demographic that take their days and monitor and proctor
we
the voting.
lost without those people.
We'd be lost without them. But really, if they're saying that internet security is what's preventing us from voting online, look at our security now. It's 80-year-old people. And really, I mean, I don't cast aspersions on them. I think what they do is great. But I would not trust them to handle my banking. But I do my banking online.
Yeah.
I think that we need to slowly or systematically, maybe states at a time, maybe 5 states at a time, we need to phase it out and we need to go online. Because it can be more secure.
What time do the voting booths open?
I think it depends on your area, but it's usually 7 a.m.
I think that's right.
I don't
Quit talking about my area.
I don't think I'll be able to vote.
Well,
I don't think I think I'm out this year because
of his citizenship.
Well, no, because I leave D.C. and well, first of all, I'm not going to deal with the hassle of standing in line at 7 a.m. But outside of that, I leave D.C. I should be at work by 8:30. But so I would have to leave around 7. And then I don't go back because I stay at work and then I do Big O and Dukes on Tuesday
What
night.
you need to do...
wow.
Well, it's good that you have priorities.
Yeah.
What you should do...
I'm an entertainer.
Hey, how about... why don't you do what you were talking about for the iPhone? Why don't you hire someone to vote for you?
A proxy?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
But you can do early...
I think that's illegal.
Can he do early voting in the district?
I don't know about the district. Today was the deadline in Virginia.
Does it really matter?
Wait, you have said before that for you it doesn't. In D.C., you've said
yeah,
it
but
doesn't.
you know what? You're really not being a good American.
What?
If you
pay
don't
taxes.
Vote, but you're not.
Here's the problem. His voter card says he's white.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Yeah, I need to get off.
If you said to
I
Evan,
really do need a lawyer.
if you said to Evan, I'm going to be standing in line when my polls open, and I'm coming to work as soon as I can as I get out of it, he would probably let you do it.
He wouldn't have a problem.
You need to do it. You need to vote. And besides, it'll make you feel big and strong. Bob Schieffer said so.
Big and strong.
And
listen, Uncle Bob.
And by the way, he wears purple socks all the time, it turns out.
Really?
Bob Schieffer does. Yeah, because it's his college colors.
What school?
I don't know.
Okay.
Church School of the Old Man.
Another Republican candidate has weighed in on rape. In Indiana, Tea Party Senate candidate Richard Murdoch this week told a live TV audience that when a woman becomes pregnant from rape, quote, that's something God intended.
Do you want to hear the tape, Buzz?
Sure.
Okay.
I struggled with it myself for a long time, but I came to realize life is that gift from God. And I think even when life begins in that horrible situation of rape, that it is something that God intended to happen.
You know what? Take what he says out of it. I wouldn't vote for a guy that sounded like that. He could be saying that I'm the greatest guy in the world. I'd say, I don't like you.
He was defending his position against abortion and making that comment. There's a tight race underway with a Democrat there that he's involved in. It's one of the biggest spending regional campaigns in the country. The Romney the Romney campaign has already distanced itself from Murdoch's remarks. A huge victory yesterday for Planned Parenthood in Indiana. Federal appeals court ruled that the state's law blocking funding for the program interferes with the relationship between women and their doctors. It's the biggest setback yet for widespread conservative efforts to cut funding for abortion providers and services linked to them. There was a similar setback for conservatives in Arizona last week. Challenges are still underway in Texas and Oklahoma. There was a rally not far from Wichita in Salina, Kansas yesterday to demand the repeal of a new law protecting gays against discrimination in things like housing and employment. It's similar to the laws we have all over the country.
Sure.
Well, there were protests against that law to try to get that law repealed in Salina yesterday. The protesters saying that the legal protections for gays are a threat to their religious freedom. Quoting a pastor at the rally, do you want your wife or little girl to go into a restroom and have some ungodly man go in with them? I think not.
Well, and that's what happens.
Of course.
I mean, that's a valid point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
sure.
Just can't argue with logic like that.
You can't.
Fresh research out of New Zealand says PMS is mostly a myth. The study reviewed 47 other scientific studies.
Like to have them over to my house.
And found that PMS is real in only 15% of reported cases.
Yeah, it might be a myth, but they got to talk to Myth Spiewak.
More than a third of scientific studies found no link between a woman's mood and her menstrual cycle. Researchers think PMS, as we know it, is psychological. If a woman and her mate think her mood will be worse, it will be.
Well, how about that?
Huh.
Well,
I'm not big into make believe.
Weigh in, please.
People use that as an excuse all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
so you buy that?
No, I know. I don't buy it. They use it. I think some women have like terrible menstrual cramps.
Right.
That in turn, the pain causes them to turn into the third letter of the alphabet.
Right.
But
and the second.
I would say that
nice coding.
I would say that that there are some women that just use it as an excuse as well.
Yeah, and I think that's what the study is saying most do because they just assume that it's true.
Yeah. Like my sister, oh God, why do I even tell these people? Tell me anything. Yeah. She has like super like horrible, her whole life,
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I know because she's got the heating pad. She's got like when I was younger, I just didn't, I thought she was always sick, and my mom wouldn't explain to me what the hell was going on. I finally figured it out. Heating pad.
Your sister has the 4-day virus or something.
Yes. But then there are other women that just are the second or third letter of the alphabet, and then they blame it on that.
Right, yeah.
Well,
and I think that's what the study says.
For the record, I believe the ladies. Thank you.
The sound of two hands clapping. Hackers have stolen customers' credit and debit card PIN numbers at over 63 Barnes & Noble stores. And although the digital larceny was discovered in mid-September, we're just now hearing about it 6 weeks later.
Those poor senior citizens that still buy books.
Yeah, I didn't know there still were 63 Barnes & Nobles. The delay in hearing about this, the Justice Department asked Barnes & Noble to keep a lid on the scam so it could be investigated quietly. Credit card companies were notified right away so that they could protect individual customers. Now,
excellent.
You know, too.
Cool.
There's a monkey still on the loose in St. Petersburg, Florida. And
watch out, Robert.
The
loose monkey.
The latest plan to catch him involves another monkey. Officials have set up a trap involving a new monkey and a big pile of fruit.
Stop that ape! Stop him now! God, I wish Mike was here to do the Barrett.
I know, he'll be back tomorrow. Animal experts say this method of using one animal to trap another has been used on chickens and roosters, but has never been tested on monkeys. Finally,
so this really is precedent-setting monkey
we're gonna
espionage.
We're all over this story.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah. Call me tonight if anything happens.
I will.
Thank you.
Finally, also thank you, Florida, for this one. Last week, a woman called the cops in Port St. Lucie, Florida, when she saw a 34-year-old man in a CVS parking lot vigorously fondling himself in his car.
This happens.
It happens a lot, and it always ends in arrest.
Yeah, I don't mind it except for the vigorous part.
When the cops
What's
arrived,
your hurry?
When the cops showed up, the man told them that he wasn't pleasuring himself. He told them he was just scratching this horrible rash on his junk. At that point, quoting the police report, he presented his testicles to the police to prove it. When they saw the rash, they knew he was telling the truth, and they didn't arrest him.
That's terrific.
Usually, it's not a good idea to expose yourself to cops when you're being questioned about indecent exposure, but this time it worked. And this time, it was in Florida. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
You know, I'm not telling people what to do, Oscar, but that might work for you in court.
No.
Show them your
If I was a white guy, maybe.
Maybe. Well, that's what your card says.
You are.
All right, Buzz, thank you. And today's show
is brought to you by TLC Laser Eye Center. There's nothing like ditching those glasses or contacts. The TLC staff is friendly. The surgeon's experience, the equipment state of the art, and the lifetime commitment is huge, applicable all over the country. For your free consultation to see what you've been missing, call 877-TLC-2020 or find them online at tlcvision.com, and be sure to tell them you heard about TLC on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thank you, Buzz. And this just in, you were closer than you thought.
Really?
Not Alfred E. Newman, who wrote the 20th Century Fox logo.
It was?
Alfred Newman.
Oh.
It really was his name.
That's why you almost bought it.
That almost did. That's Alfred Newman, who wrote the 20th Century Fox. And I also noticed this. Did you know that they wrote the theme to Star Wars in B-flat, so it married nicely to the music from the logo? John Williams and Alfred Newman getting together and make it happen.
That was going to haunt me all day. Thank you for clearing that up.
If I knew you'd be worried horribly so. Thank you, everyone, for listening and for bearing with us for 3 days. Mike O'Mara back tomorrow, so please join us then. Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Buzz.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, son.
Bye.
I love you. Good job today, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for being a good kid.
He's a great kid.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. So long.
Catch you out.